Jane Goodall is one of the best-known scientific researchers and conservationists in the world. She became famous in the 1960s for her studies of chimpanzees in Africa. Goodall's work there made her a pioneer in the field and an inspiration to young women around the world. Now, at 83, Jane Goodall is the subject of a new documentary simply titled Jane. The film revisits her early years in the forest with chimpanzees and draws on more than 100 hours of previously unseen film footage. NewsHour Weekend's Christopher Booker recently spoke with Goodall and the film's director, Brett Morgan. This segment is part of our ongoing series of conversations with documentary filmmakers.
Louis Leakey sent me to Gombe.
Jane Goodall is best known for her groundbreaking studies of chimpanzees. Her observations in 1960 that they eat meat and make tools transformed the world's understanding of humankind's closest relative. The photographs, magazine articles, and films that followed made Goodall famous.
You know, I was shy basically, and I wanted to be out in the field, and then this media started coming at me in all directions, and of course in the beginning it was kind of pathetic really, you know, Beauty and the Beast and Geographic cover girl and all that kind of stuff. But as soon as I moved into the realization that nature and chimpanzees and all the things I loved needed to be protected, then it was very obvious that we needed the media. The animals, nature, needs the media.
In 1962, National Geographic sent photographer Hugo van Lawick to document her current research and reenact for the camera her earliest months in the field. The resulting 1965 film, Miss Goodall and the Wild Chimpanzees, has been seen around the world for decades. 3 years ago, Van Lawick's footage was rediscovered in a Pennsylvania warehouse. Director Brett Morgan has brought this material to life in the new, digitally retouched feature-length documentary, Jane.
I received a call from National Geographic in early 2015 that they had recently unearthed 140 hours of never before seen footage from Jane's earliest expeditions in Africa. It's interesting because I'm not sure if we should say that the footage was lost or if it was forgotten about.
I wasn't expecting to see what I saw. And it's moved me in a way that none of the other documentaries have. It seems to be very honest. It's not contrived. It isn't, you know, it isn't sanitized. It's just as it was. And so I'm back there with those chimps.
The story of Jane Goodall and those chimps starts with her English childhood experience in World War II and the influence of Goodall's mother, Van.
I was just an ordinary little girl, born loving animals, loving nature. And I think, you know, the importance of my mother's role is that when everybody else laughed at me when I wanted to go to Africa and live with animals and write books about them, I was 10. And instead of laughing at me, she just said, if you work hard and take advantage of opportunity and don't give up, you know, you'll get there.
It's a very advanced, mature parent who can recognize that their child needs to be nurtured for who they are and what they have to offer this world. And Van clearly understood that in Jane, and as a result, we're sitting here today.
Motherhood also plays an important role in Jane's research with the chimps.
Well, she was all the things that a chimp mother should be. She was protective, but not overprotective. She was affectionate, she was playful, but being supportive. That was the key. And of course, that's what my mother was. She supported me.
When she arrived at the Gombe Stream Reserve in what is now Western Tanzania in the summer of 1960, she was a novice, specifically hired by famed paleoanthropologist Louis Leakey, who'd been looking for a mind unbiased by scientific theory. But British authorities wouldn't allow then 26-year-old Goodall to go alone. Her mother volunteered to chaperone.
She actually came with me for the first 4 months. She was the brave one. She had to be left alone in the camp while I went into the forest. She was left with spiders, scorpions, slightly aggressive baboons, and a slightly inebriated cook.
When Lawick arrived to film Goodall's research, what neither of them knew was, in addition to the chimps, he'd capture the earliest moments of their love affair.
It's a movie about passion and love for their vocations. And I think every frame of this film is is a testament to Hugo's passion for cinematography and filmmaking, and Jane's passion for her work and the natural world.
The couple married in 1964 and had a son, but divorced in 1974.
It's amazing to have a love story in which at the very end, the couple doesn't stay together, yet it's a happy ending. Jane and Hugo, I think, had larger purpose on this earth than their own romantic endeavor, if that's fair to say.
Probably.
Yeah.
While Goodall's methodology changed the way the world viewed chimpanzees, her nearly 60-year career has not been without controversy. The practice of giving names to the chimpanzees was criticized by scientists, and a 2013 book she co-authored had to be reissued after the Washington Post found it included unattributed passages. But in 1977, Goodall began shifting her time from science to activism, founding the Jane Goodall Institute, dedicated to environmental education, wildlife conservation, and saving declining primate populations from extinction. While the Institute continues the field research that she began 57 years ago, Goodall spends the majority of her time on the road.
What keeps you getting on those airplanes?
Well, one, I jump on the airplanes because I have a message to give and because I know it makes a difference. Even as we speak now, in some parts of the world, they're doing all kinds of projects that are making a difference. We're beginning to use our brain to come up with technology that can help us live in greater harmony and to live our lives with a lighter ecological footprint.
Do you think a 26-year-old version of yourself in this contemporary world would be able to or inclined to take that same journey that you took?
I think there's actually quite a lot of young people dying to take that journey. Of the people who are going out in the field, when I meet them, they say, well, I'm doing this because I read about you when I was 7 or 8 or something like that, whereas I read about Tarzan and Dr. Dolittle.
This was where I was meant to be.
Jane premiered in October and is currently playing in select theaters nationwide.